Dana, give me a jet to Spain, baby. I'm coming for Ilia Topuria. And if he doesn't want it, I want Ilia, baby. Give me Ilia.
The Sugar Show is on. Sean O'Malley is one of the best martial arts fighters there is. His unassuming look might fool you into think he's an easy opponent. To your surprise, dynamite do come in small packages. Sean is that package. His UFC career is like no other. He was able to accumulate about 7 straight wins, moments before joining the UFC. His leg work and light shadow hook ruined a lot of careers, but ironically raised his to a whole new level. Sean was born October 24, 1994, in Helena, Montana. Unlike many athletes, Sean tried a lot different sports like basketball and soccer. It's unusual because the first time he was exposed to mixed martial arts, he was like, "That's the most disgusting sport in the entire world." But never say never, because he went to find incredible success with the sport. O'Malley is not only a great fighter, but he's also a great dad. Yes, he's a father to a beautiful daughter named Elena. Sean and his wife love each other so much that they decided it's unfair to not share their love, so they have an open relationship to say the least. Since O'Malley's debut in the UFC, he has an incredible record of 19 fights under his belt, and 15 of those were won by knockouts. One thing that people see when it comes to Sean is that he's way skinnier than his other opponents, but the real eye catcher is the hair color. Sean is the most flamboyant fighter I know. Since his wife is a hairdresser, most of the hairstyles are done by her, even the colors. But the colors represent something bigger. He once said he pays tribute to his fans and supporters, and that some people even dared him on his live stream to put color on his hair. He's not only a fighter, but an activist too. He's a huge activist for the legalization of marijuana. He believes that marijuana should be legal because it has proven to have more health benefits than any other substance out there. That also too caught fire because he later tested positive for using and illegal substances. He was using Ostarine for better recovery, but it was later found that it wasn't approved by the FDA, which meant he had to be suspended. He fought countless opponents within the UFC, but this is our 3 best pick to show you how good Sean O'Malley really is. When he fought Wineland, his offense was on point. It was like he saw Wineland's hooks at slow motion. After several jabs and hooks, he had to close the chapter with a strong right jab and sent Wineland to sleep. When he fought Almeida, there was no exception. The plan was to get in, don't get hit and leave with pockets full of money, and that became reality so fast. Last fight on the list was when he fought Paiva. The two were toying about a bit until their minds realized that there is money on the line. Then their minds zapped back into action. Sean flavored Paiva with good amount of jabs and making sure he's hitting the vital points on the body. Paiva's body couldn't take it anymore and went to reset mode. Sean O'Malley has a fun and interesting career within the UFC, but it's not always fun and games with him. He has been battling with a leg injury as of late, and it seems to be getting worse by the minute. At one point, he almost lost a match because his leg was being a nightmare. To counter that issue, he now focuses on improving his grappling style and maximizing his fighting skills, and it's really working for him. Since he set his eyes on being world champion, it's way better for a person of his caliber to become the best version as fast as possible. What better way to be the best, other than learning from the best? He highly regards Conor McGregor as his biggest inspiration within the UFC space. Even though McGregor is one of the most controversial figures within the UFC, he's still one of the most talented and toughest fighters to come out of the UFC. So for Sean to draw inspiration from persons like Conor, it makes more sense, especially since he plans to be a world champion. He's also looking at having a boxing match sometime in the future.
When it's the pay-per-view king in the UFC versus another pay-per-view king in boxing. So Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis, those are two guys that I could see myself potentially boxing in 5 to 6 years. I truly believe I could beat one of those guys.
He believes that UFC is way harder than boxing, and since he's relatively good at UFC, he has no doubt and believes he could dominate the boxing space. He sees boxers like Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Tank Davis as his future opponents, if he ever gravitate towards boxing. If you ask me, I'd say you can do anything you put your mind to. And if Sean believes he could dominate both UFC and boxing, then who are we to judge? We couldn't every aspect about his life, but from this small snippet you can tell that Sean O'Malley is destined for great things. Whether he becomes a UFC world champion or boxing world champion, it really doesn't matter. What matters is that he'll be a legend regardless. Thank you for reaching this part of the video. Clearly you've enjoyed it, so why not put in a little sub while you're at it?